Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be doing a yin yang, and we're going to be doing a couple of different techniques. So I'm starting off with a stone that I made from the molds that I received from the Happy Dotting Company. There's a link in the description of this video if you wish to go and visit her Etsy shop. And then I painted on a coat of black with a paintbrush, and now I'm going in and I'm giving it a second coat with my finger dauber. Why I do this is because it hides all of those brush strokes and gives it a nice thick coat of paint. And like I said, this is my second coat of the paint, as you can see as well, because it gives me a nice even layer to draw my design on, and if I have to erase something, it's not going to erase the entire paint that I've just put on, and it makes it nice and even. So then I get out my compass and my General's charcoal pencil, and I'm going to draw two circles. So one is smaller than the other. The details are going to be in the center, and then the outer circle is going to be the frame. So I find my center, and it's really easy with these stones because there's a little like a nipple, I guess, or like a little bump in the center, so you don't have to try and find it. And I just marked it with an X. So then I found my like my north, south, east, and west, and now I'm going to draw the design of the yin yang. So I'm using a paint bottle that I have. Oddly enough, it is the black paint that I use for covering my rocks. And I just drew on the basic shapes of where I wanted the yin yang to go. And now I'm just sort of fine tuning that by just, making the curve, following it along, and making sure that it goes through that intersection in the center. And I do this on both sides so that I have it nice and even. I seem to always have trouble, I guess, with doing the yin yang symbol, but yeah, it always seems to work out. So now I'm using one of my finger daubers that hasn't had paint on it yet, to draw the little circles in the center of the yin yang. And I found one of them was a little bit not centered the way that I wanted it, so I just erased it, and now I'm going to draw it on again. So this is where that double coat of paint comes in handy, because I can erase that and not worry about erasing the one layer of paint. So now I'm going to do my design. So I was thinking of the universe. So you have sunlight and night. So daytime and nighttime. And I kind of wanted to do something like that, but I'm also doing it all in blues. And the reason why I'm doing it all in blues is because if you have seen any of my soul symbol rocks, yin yang is the soul symbol for the month of March, and I like to do it in the colors of the birthstone. So I sell these quite often, and when I do, I have to come up with a new design. And oddly enough, I have been able to do different designs for every single one that I have had to redo. And I'm very proud of that. So I really liked how this turned out. So I thought I would film it because I had to paint it anyways. And yeah, I thought I'd bring you along through the process. Now, during my creative process here, I'm doing lines on the other side as well. The reason why I did this was because I wanted to see which one I liked better. And I was actually going to think about doing one color and then the other side the other color, and have this sort of design go with it. And you'll see in just a little bit that I don't like it, so I erase it. But I do keep one side, and those, excuse me, those end up being my sun rays. And like I said, I do it all in different shades of blue. And instead of using my glorious gold, which I know is probably going to shock some of you guys because I always use my glorious gold, I'm going to actually use what's called shimmering silver. All the paint colors that I use in this tutorial will be listed in the description, as well as I will mention them as we go through. I'll try to remember. But if I do forget, know that there is that backup of all of the colors that I use in the description. Now, all of the paints I'm using today are made by DecoArt. I'm using some metallic colors as well. I'm just sort of going for it. So I sold one of these rocks at the last show that I was at. So I need to replace it so that I still have a full set for the next show that I go to. So you'll notice that I erased both sides of the lines, and now I'm not even using a ruler, I'm just freehanding it. I wanted the rays of the sun to be close together, but I wanted it to start off small at the circle of the yin yang, and then I wanted to make it wider as it leaves and goes to the outer edge. I tried to do the same thing in here, but I don't like this either, so I eventually erase it and I do a different design. Here we go. This is the fun part of the project. I mean, yes, I love to paint it. I love to make this finished product and see how it all comes together, but I really like the creative process of how to get there first. So by drawing on the design and seeing what works, what looks good, what doesn't, it's kind of one of my favorite things about doing this. And once you have your design, you can really bring it to life by adding the colors and painting it. So this was a lot of fun, and most of the time I don't show you this because it's a lot of drawing, a lot of erasing, a lot of, redrawing, re-erasing. And I tend to spare you guys from that, but I thought this time I wanted to show you the process of what I go through in order to create a design. And like I said, most of the time you don't see this because it's sort of like behind the scenes, but I wanted to bring you into it this time. So thank you for coming along for the journey of my creativity and how my mind works and how I get a design put onto a rock. So I've outlined everything in this glorious gold. No, sorry, it is shimmering silver. I usually use glorious gold, but I'm using shimmering silver this time. And I find that the silver works a lot better with the blues that I chose. So I'm really happy that I went with that silver. And I'm just sort of outlining everything that I want to keep. And then anything I don't want to keep, I can either erase once this paint is completely dry, or I just paint over it with black paint. And that's what I usually do, is I paint over with black paint, only because I don't want any remnants left behind, because once you resin this, if there's even like the slightest little mark of the General's charcoal pencil or an eraser mark, it amplifies it, so it becomes very visible. So that's why I like to repaint over with the black paint. So you will see me do that. I do a lot of fine lining in this. I do some of my silver paint is on a little bit thick, and I want to thin it out in width wise. So I will come back in with my fine lining brush, and I will sort of thin those lines out with using black paint, just to give everything sort of like the same kind of width, so it looks like it's all together. So I'm also going to outline the bottom circle or the outside circle in this beautiful silver that I'm using, just so that it's dry by the time I get there. So I know I have some little lines there. They were kind of like my anchor points of where I wanted things to go, but they will disappear because I do a little bit of dotting in there just to add a little bit more, excuse me, just to add a little bit more of a contrast. And I will be using the same colors that I use on the inside of this beautiful yin yang. So I know this has been a very long, tedious kind of thing, but honestly, I don't usually show you all of this. I usually just, do little snippets of it here and there so you get the idea. But I thought this time I'm going to take you through the whole process from beginning to end. Now, I will let you know that this video, when it was in raw form, before I even edited it, was 182 minutes. That's right, 182 minutes. That's a long time. And that's how long it took me to paint this. And that does not include drying time. So there was many times when I had paused the video to allow it to dry that you guys didn't get to see, because that's the benefit of editing. So you'll see here, I have changed up that design yet again inside the opposite. I guess that's the yin part. Maybe it's the yang part. I don't know. But the circle, the small circle, I've changed it up so I'm making it look like the sun ray is actually going through that other hole or the other circle. Now on to painting. So I'm starting off with using a Whispering Turquoise. This is actually such a beautiful color. It doesn't do it justice by the lighting that I have, but it is the softest blue I have ever worked with, and it's a new paint to me, and I love it. For a blue, it is so pretty. It blends so nicely, and it's like a white with a hint of blue in it, but when it dries, it's such a beautiful soft blue color. And you'll see it better once it's resined, of course, because resin really makes all of the colors just shine at its absolute most vibrant. But it's such a beautiful blue, and it works really well for this application that I decided to use. So you're noticing that I am painting it on with a paintbrush, and then I am going in with my blending brush. So the blending brush that I'm using today for the bigger parts is one that I purchased off Amazon. Now the link that I did have in the description no longer works. So they are a set of 3 blending brushes. I have searched it, and if you search blending brushes, these will pop up. I am using Amazon Canada, so if you can't find it, that could be why. But I'm sure that if you just put in blending brushes, you'll find whatever that you need. And then for these smaller bits, I'm coming in with my homemade blending brush. Now, I did have a question from my last video about if these bristles were soft or if they were hard. So these bristles were soft. This was a brush that I used to use many, many times for exactly what I'm doing right now. So it was a brush like this that I use to paint with, especially in small areas, but it the bristles started to detach themselves from each other. So they were like getting frayed. So I just chopped it down, gave it a little haircut, and now I have a really awesome blending brush. So if you're interested in learning more, I do try out a few different blending brushes, or a few different brushes with different bristles. And if you're interested in seeing that video, there is a link to it in my description. And it is really cool. I do experiment with a few different ones just to give you an idea what works best and what doesn't. So I hope you go and check that out at the end of this video, just to see how you can make your own blending brush and give new life to a brush that may have done well for you in the past, but is now losing its vibrancy, or its ability to do the job that it's supposed to do, and you just want to give it new life. So go and check that out. I invite you to do that after you finish this video. So I'm just going in and I'm blending everything, so I've got a nice even coat. And I do come in with a little bit of white, and I put a little bit of white sort of in the center because I will be putting in a little bit of darker color, and I'm going to be blending that in as well. And you'll see me do that very soon. But the darker blue that I will be using is called Crisp Blue. And I'm just going to put it on the edges, and then I'm going to blend it into this really light color. Actually, I'm going to use it right now. I guess I just totally lied to you. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking of the other yin yang that I did. So the other yin yang I did was exactly the same colors, different design. I used the crisp blue as the outline, and then I blended in the lighter blue, that whispering turquoise. So I do apologize. I got my videos mixed up. So yes, so this is the crisp blue that I'm doing right now. I'm putting it into the smaller rays, and I'm blending it in, and I'm adding a little tiny bit of white just to give it a softer look, so that it matches more onto the the lighter blue that I've already applied. And I think it gives it a nice effect. Now, don't worry if you blend over top of the silver lines. I will go in and I will fix those up. I will also outline everything in black so that it separates as well. So you'll see me do that. And like I said, this is, here, oh, I'm doing it right now. So there you go. I'm outlining that in black. And then if there's any silver that I need to touch up, I will go back in and touch that up. So this is my fine lining brush that I also created. I do have a tutorial for that as well. So you're very welcome to visit that one and figure out how you can do that as well. I find that it works so nice, and I put this curve into it so that I can use it sort of like a marker, or like a pen, the way that you would hold a pen on a bit of an angle. So I just leave it in the water, and it folds over on itself type thing. So then I end up with this curve, and I explain it all in my tutorial. So if you're interested, please go and visit that. There is a link in the description. So anything that I think that is important that I want you to know about is always going to be listed in the description. So make sure that you do check that out before leaving, because there's tons of good stuff in there. I have links to the Happy Dotting Company. I have links to the Dotting Center, which is where I get my dotting tools. There are links to my Etsy shop. Nope, sorry, I have closed my Etsy shop. So there's links to my Facebook page. There's links to my Instagram, and what else do I have in there? There's all sorts of really good stuff in there. I've now opened up a shop with Buy Me Coffee. It's also a place that you can go and donate to my channel and support to allow me to continue to bring new content to you guys. It's not required. I do this 100% for free. I'm not asking you to do that, just if you want to. That's it. I enjoy so much painting. I enjoy so much teaching, and I enjoy very much to bring this to you guys as often as I can. I know this one's a little bit late. I like to post on Fridays. But with the long weekend that we had last weekend and getting back into the swing of things, and I know it was a short week, I just, for some reason, I just could not get this one out to you guys. So I'm happy to finally get it there now, and it's sitting on your screen. But I do apologize for not getting this out when I wanted to. But better late than never, right? And it took me a long time to edit this one and get it down into a time frame that was acceptable, we'll say. So this is like the most tedious part of this this design, because the other side of the yin yang I do as a solid color, and I use blue sapphire, which is a metallic, and you will be seeing that very shortly after I get this all cleaned up. So that does go a little bit quicker than this, but I really like doing the designs and doing the yin yang. I have a lot of fun with it. I have done so many different ones. I think this is, for this particular rock size, for my soul symbol rocks, I think this is my 8th yin yang that I have created. So yeah, I do these quite often. And not just the yin yang. I have a few other ones that are very popular, like the wolf one, and just lately, which has been odd, has been the fire one, which is the month of July. So yeah, I don't know. It keeps me busy and in doing these. Plus, I have an art show coming up, and I am so excited about it. I have applied a couple of years now to get into this art show, and I finally got accepted. It is so tough to get into this art show. There's like 80 spots, but they receive anywhere from 150 to 200 applicants every year. So it is very tough to get in, and I was accepted this year. So I'm so excited. It is in September. I might do like a video of the setup and all of that stuff to let you guys know about it. It is in September, so I've been busy working on more artwork to have ready to go for that particular event. I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So stay tuned for that. I will be definitely talking about it a little bit more, because I'm excited. I might even put together a montage of stuff that I have painted in anticipation of the show. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. Anyway, so as I was talking, you saw me put on the paint for the blue sapphire, the metallic, and I painted it on with a paintbrush, and then I went back in with a finger dauber, as you saw me do, because it gave me a more even coat. Now I'm just going to do some touch-ups here with the silver and the black. And while I'm doing that, I am going to say thank you for sticking around with me for as long as you have, especially this video being a longer one. If you're new, I want to thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And there's that little bell. Make sure that you click on that, and it will send you a notification when I post something new. And don't forget to give me the thumbs up to let me know that you like this. You can also leave me a comment. Just say hi if you want. I'm totally up for any of that. So now that the Sapphire metallic paint is dry, I'm going to put on some stars, because like I said, that this is going to be like daytime, nighttime, but it's all done in blues. So I'm going to add a couple of stars. So all I did was I took some white pearl. It is also a metallic paint by DecoArt. And I just put on, with my dotting tool, a bigger dot. And then I take my fine lining brush and I pull out these star glimmers, I guess you call them, or like the rays from the stars. And I do north, east, south, and west. And then I do the in-between, so like northeast, southeast, that kind of thing. Then I let that dry, and now I'm using my little tool that I got from the Happy Dotting Company. It fits over top of these rocks so perfectly, and it has grid lines on it. So I use that to hone in on where the spacing needs to be for my border or my frame. So that's what I did, and now I'm just painting it on with the silver paint, and I'm going to add some dots. So a big silver dot in the center, and then I'm going to add 3 dots on either side of the, what color was it? It was the crisp blue is what I use. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I let it dry. I get rid of any lines that are still there. I give it a coat of resin, and I let it sit for 24 hours before I can touch it. But then it's finished. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it. So get creative.